All right, today we're going to talk about simplifying rational expressions. All right, so a rational expression is simply just a polynomial over a polynomial. All right, so like the one I've got listed here, we're just going to run through a few examples on how to simplify these. So essentially what we're doing is factoring and canceling. So we're going to take out the greatest common factor of each numerator and denominator and see what we can simplify, what we can cancel out. So for this one, if we look at the numerator, that 30b minus 40, we can obviously see that a 10 comes out of there. So I can rewrite this as 10 times 3b minus 4. All right, the bottom, again, we can see that a 10 is going to come out of there. So we've got 2b minus 5 left over. All right, so now what we're looking for is numbers we can cancel. So now canceling doesn't mean they go away, it means they turn to 1. We know anything times 1 is itself, so that's why we just don't write it. So we got a 10 over a 10, which is 1. We don't need to write that 1, so we are left with 3b minus 4 over 2b minus 5. All right, that is the simplified version of that rational expression. All right, another one, 27x minus 9 over 18x plus 54. Again, we're looking for the greatest common factor to come out of here. So if we look at the top, I've got a 9 that comes out of there, and I'm left with 3x minus 1. On the bottom, I've actually got an 18 that comes out of there, so I've got 18 and left with x plus 3. All right, so we know that 9 goes into 18 twice. So what we're actually left with is 3x minus 1 in the numerator and a 2 times x plus 3 in the denominator. This is the simplified form. All right, another one. All right, so the top, we can pull a 10 out of there. So we're left with m minus 6 in the numerator. Now, the denominator, there's nothing I can factor out of there. So I actually need to factor that, put that in factored form. So to put this in factored form, I'm going to do my multiply, divide, and slide method. So I'm going to take 7 and multiply it times 30. So I've got, so 7 times 30 gives me 210. All right, my signs are both negative, which means I need numbers that are going to subtract to get to 37. All right, so I'm looking at this one. Probably the easiest one to see is 21 and 10. All right, so where do I go from there? That doesn't give me 37. Well, I know 7 goes into 7 times 3 is 21, so I can do 7 and 30. That'll get me to 21, or 210. All right, that also gets me to 37, but remember our signs are different and we need these numbers to subtract each other to get to that 37 and these numbers add. So that one doesn't work. All right, I can do, let's go, 30 is 2 times 15, so 14 times 15 ought to get me to 210. That one doesn't work either, but I'm not really getting any closer. All right, so 15 is 3 times 5. 3 times 14 is 42, so 42 times 5 should work. And if I subtract those two, I get 37. All right, so this is the one I want. So my factored form is going to be m. This negative 37 is negative, so I'm going to have a negative 42 and a positive 5, because negative 42 plus 5 gives me to a negative 37. All right, now we got to do our divide by 7. So we've actually got m minus 6. And then since that doesn't divide, we're going to slide that up. So 7m plus 5. All right, so the denominator actually factors out to an m minus 6 and a 7m plus 5. All right, we can cancel out those m minus 6, and we are left with 10 over 7m plus 5. And that is the simplified form. All right, last example. All right, so both of these have to be factored. All right, so if I start with the numerator, if I do the whole multiply, divide, and slide method, so 7 times 25 gives me 175. All right, so I need factors that are going to add because both my signs are positive. So we need to add 240. All right, so factors of 175. Well, obviously 5 goes in there. 5 times 35 actually gives me 175. Lo and behold, those two add up to 40. I don't need to go any further. So what we've got is m plus 5 and m plus 35 divided by 7. So that one doesn't go in. So 7m plus 5 is what we have over there. And m plus 5 for that one. All right, so now let's look at the denominator. Let's factor that one out first. All right, so 5 times 45 is 225. All right, we need these to subtract because our signs are different. Subtract 216. All right, so 225, looking at that one, 25 goes in there. I just pull out the number that I know easiest. All right, 25 goes in there 9 times. Look at that, 25 minus 19 is, or minus 9 is 16, so we've got our answer right there. So we've got m plus 25 because we need to get a positive 16, so it's going to be plus 25 and minus 9. Divide by 5. So we've got m plus 5 and 5m minus 9. All right, so to rewrite this now, so our numerator, we've got 7m plus 5 plus, and times m plus 5 on the top over m plus 5 is 5m minus 9. All right, we've got m plus 5 on the top and m plus 5 on the bottom. So those will cancel out, and we are left with 7m plus 5 over 5m minus 9. All right, so that is what we're doing this week. It's just simplifying, so factoring and canceling. We're just taking those factoring skills and practicing those to use them to cancel.